Welcome to Shooting the Breeze.
Shooting the Breeze with my turn, Roderick. Naomi.
And Roderick. We'll get it down. We'll get it down.
All right, so today we are going to talk about, what was it again?
Families. When to start your kids shooting.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. So, okay, yeah.
It is, I'll say it, National Shooting Sport Month. So get your families out shooting.
Right.
When do you take your kids? Hunting season's coming up.
Right, hunting season.
Gotta get your kiddos out on those birds. Right?
Why birds? Why not like the ground squirrels to begin with, or tree squirrels, or rabbits?
You could do that.
Yeah, that's how you traditionally start them.
Birds. Throw my dove.
That's
Their
just your
season's
preference.
coming.
Right, well, for some squirrel.
Squirrel. I did fall in love with dove and quail.
I have a friend that loves it too.
Oh man.
Quail, chucker,
and
and
they're tasty.
Yeah, I just go in my backyard with an air rifle.
Don't say that too loud.
Okay. I hear them with the shotguns.
Yeah.
I hear them in my neighborhood.
Shotguns?
With the shotguns. Boom! Boom! Boom!
Well,
I was like, what
I
in the world?
suppose. If you get a depredation permit, like if they're a nuisance.
Nah, this is definitely not that. No, because it happens the same time.
Okay.
Meaning open season.
Open season.
They go out there early in the morning. So it's crazy.
Oh, it is.
I live on the edge of town though, so you know.
Well, it could be in fields. It could be a farmer's field. If you're on the edge of town, that could be it. Someone has permission. And hey, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Someone is legally hunting.
Whatever,
maybe.
Man.
Or they're just out having fun. Well,
still.
Could be. So.
As long as it's not unsafe.
Yeah, that's true.
And within a certain distance of the residential buildings and your neighbors. Yeah.
You're not allowed to take game within 150 yards.
Residential.
While you are I can't remember the regulation. It's 150 yards.
Okay, yeah.
While in pursuit of game.
In pursuit of game.
Yes. Hunting.
Well, when you're sitting on your back and you're on a lawn chair, then you're not in pursuit now, are ya? You're waiting for them to come to you.
Right? That's why we use those.
There.
That's why we use those, the Mojo doves. And
What's a Mojo dove?
The Mojo dove. The Mojos. All right, the Mojos. They have the electronic wings that flap, so they fly to you, so it looks like a dove's landing. It's a decoy. It's a motorized decoy. Mojo's a brand.
Oh, Mojo.
Mojo.
All right, Mojo.
Get your Mojo on.
You powder puff girls.
So, how old is your son?
He is 10.
He's 10. So, how long has he been shooting?
Oh, gosh, since he was about 5 or 6.
All right. What made you determine at 5 or 6 that he was ready to do it? Or did you just, how did you start your son on firearms?
All right. It began with, as we had explained many times in comedy with you and everyone else, that he likes to turn everything into a knife, a sword, a bow and arrow, or a gun, right?
You mean he's a normal little boy?
Normal little boy. So it's just like, come on, man. He used to steal the knives and sleep with the knives, right? And we'd find knives in his bed when I go and help him change his bed, and there would be a steak knife underneath the pillow. Like, dude, this is not cool. Okay, all right, well, we need to do something about this, right? So we began with...
I'm sorry,
What?
If any of our listeners ever have a boy, or if they have a boy in the house or whatever, they totally know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. It's. I don't remember doing any of this. I'm innocent.
I didn't have brothers, so I was not aware that what boys were like in the home until I had my own, and they'd take like puzzle pieces and
they turn into guns.
They were guns, and
can't help
anyway.
It. So
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. So. He loved everything. Knives under the pillow.
So we began with getting the bow and arrows, right?
Okay.
So I went over to the archery shop in town, and I got a nice traditional, because I prefer traditional, and me and Goose have been through that. Yeah. But I'm definitely going to get a compound, but it's just not right now. And so I got a bow and arrow, and I got the target, and then I poked him. right? And he was like, oh, ow, that hurts. I'm like, this is real. Yes, that's real. So the bow and arrow thing went away because now we got real bow and arrow. No more playing, right?
Okay.
So then we moved on to the knives. So he kept stealing the knives, So I went and got some survival knives and stuff like that, and then, let him touch it. Like, oh wow! Then he saw me playing with one, with the aftermath of it. This is what happens when you're stupid. Dad, that was not safe. You're right. That was not a good idea, Dad. You're right. And so he stopped playing with knives.
So setting a foundation here.
Yeah, setting a foundation. There's
Instead
difference.
of telling him, don't do it, it's dangerous, you showed him, satisfied the curiosity of what it could do, and he grasped the concept of it. And you gave him a little bit of responsibility with it.
Yes. Ownership and responsibility. So, continuing on with the guns, because everything was still a gun and a sword.
Yeah.
And it's all about Nerf, blah, blah, blah. And so we started getting the guns, and we started going to shoot. Every gun that we got, he also got to shoot. Every single one of them. We do not keep him away from it and say, oh, no, you can't do this one. But I say, hey, you want to shoot the 308? No. That's a good idea. It's like, I don't really like shooting the 308.
What?
Oh, I got a Ruger American. Way too lightweight.
That's what I got. I
oh
love
my
it.
gosh. Oh man, you got the shorter one. I got the longer barrel.
The compact.
Yeah. The extra 4 inches matter.
On a side note, though, fit. The compact fit, so I can snug it up real good in my shoulder in the pocket. So it makes a difference.
6.5 Creedmoor. Universe killer.
I got a feeling my next might be that, but
I think I'm gonna go 300 Blackout.
I want to try. You know what I really want is the Ruger Precision.
Gosh, that's still a very, very, very not expensive. The opposite. What is it? Affordable.
It's an affordable option for the caliber.
It's 308, 300, 6.5, 6.9.
Quality components.
Very high quality components. It's like wow.
You can definitely reach out and touch someone with that.
Oh gosh, yeah. They out of the box 1,600 yards. So
anyway, okay. So he did not like this or want.
No, he didn't want to try that. The shotgun was the last one that we got, and he absolutely had to shoot it because he talked about shotguns for like 3 years. And so both of them, oh, shotgun. But that's a whole nother story. And everyone got to shoot it, so he got the experience. And so I saw him pointing, the Nerf guns that you shouldn't point over. Dad, it's just a toy. I know the difference. So the lesson has been learned. He doesn't want to touch the gun. Usually when I'm like, hey, you want to go shooting? Nah. I'm like, come on, we got to go shooting. Nah, I'm good. So the taboo, the mystery, the mystique, ooh. He knows. He knows safety.
Not interested.
And he shot so much better than I thought he would at that match.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was fun watching him shoot.
Gosh, I meant to say, I did not think. Every time we go to the range, I have to tell him, slow down and aim. I am aiming. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, gosh, man, it's so frustrating. But he went out there and he went ding, 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 ding.
The thing is,
goodness.
It's fun to shoot fast. Sometimes you just gotta let the kid let it rip.
Sometimes.
Right.
Not every single time, because you can't gauge the quality of the education. You don't know if they're doing right. But he was.
He was.
He did just fine.
He was doing really well.
I watched him with the safety, and he got it. He came down. He came down at the flag.
Yep.
And you hit the buzzer, and he came safety off, and he was.
He waited until the buzzer went off before his safety came on.
He was doing really good. So amazing. Proud of him.
The last stage we did that day, there was movement.
Yeah.
I stopped him because being 10, just making sure he had his finger off the trigger when he was, And I thought he was going to walk. Oh no, he ran. He ran, and it was like 7 or 10 years. It wasn't very far. It wasn't like he was, doing a marathon.
Yeah.
But the fact that he knew what he ran with a purpose with his finger off the trigger. That was
you said that
huge.
to him. And that was a big deal to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So he very, very aware. So 10 years old, running with a gun in his hand, keeping it pointed downrange in a course of fire, safety off under a timer. That was pretty phenomenal. I was quite impressed with him. He did very well.
Impressed me.
Nice.
Didn't do too bad. I feel okay.
Yeah.
I feel okay. So we did that, and the only thing left now are swords. Oh, and a scythe. He for some reason he turns everything into scythes now too.
Well, yeah.
Anything that maims and kills, it's a boy toy.
Yeah.
So
sticks, whack-ems, whatever.
Duct tape. So that's the age I started, and it's been at least 3 years. I think we started in about 6.
Okay.
6 with the bow and arrow, and moved all the way on up. And now we have to get swords, like I said, and I'm not sure. So, Jason, I need you to send me a text or something if you're watching. I need to know what swords to get.
That's awesome.
Sharp or non. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But I also need to, would like to learn that as well. But he's taking fencing, so that's kind of backed off.
Oh,
so
nice.
he understands.
He's getting that practical application.
Practical applications of everything.
I love
it. My hope, and this extends to everyone else with their children, when something that people feel that they have to we don't recognize it, but we feel you have to get the aggression out, the adventure, and then you get in as a teenager, you really want to do something exciting, purpose, motivation, determination, and finding something to do with yourself. If you find a good foundation, and I had spoken about this with my father, excuse me, I better get him in something that gives him a good foundation to get his energy out now that he can focus on before he turns 12 and a half, 13, because that's when the problems will begin for me. So everyone needs to, get your children out there doing something like that. And it doesn't matter what it is, it's just something that gets that energy out. Yeah. And so they can express it constructively, not negatively. Yep. I think that's a big problem with a lot of people.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So my kids, we've always had guns in the home growing up, but we didn't really start shooting and doing a whole lot till they were a little older.
Mm-hmm. How old?
Let's see, probably my youngest was 10. Mm-hmm. So they were from 10 to 15, 16. Yeah. When I got it, and then I started pursuing competitions and more as a recreation. Yeah. The boys, I have 2 boys and 2 girls. The boys got shotguns. Mm-hmm. 13, 14-ish, birthdays in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. And we'd take them out and do sporting clays, which they love.
I want to get that.
Not too much, but they both love just sporting clays. So what I've done is a couple of sporting clay tournaments with them. Yeah. And just, that's something that we can do, bond with the boys. Mm-hmm. My older daughter, we got her a Ruger 1022. Mm-hmm. Set it up target-wise, nice walnut stock, low pulse scope on that one. Mm-hmm. And anyway, so hers, the focus was a little different. Okay. Why
didn't you do the shotgun with her, the sporting clays with her?
She wanted a rifle. She asked for a rifle.
Oh, okay.
So and it's a nice little squirrel gun.
Right. Squirrel.
My youngest daughter, she really has no interest. Not a big deal. As parents are like, you need to know how to use it. Yes. It's a tool. You got to know how to use it. Yes. So she goes now that she's over 18, she joined the Well-Armed Woman with me. So she'll come out and bring her handgun out. I had a Glock 19 for many years, and she said, "I want your gun." And it was a familiarity. She knew what my gun was. She just wanted that one. She didn't want to try or anyway. She knew how that one worked. So found her one, and actually I found her a used one. Mm-hmm. I was like, she probably won't shoot it much. So anyway, but when she was probably 12, I think we got a Henry lever action.
Oh 22. Gosh, yeah.
Just something just fun. And that's hers. So all their kids have long guns and handguns, and
oh, that's cool.
So so my kids are a little older. the more involved I got, they were right there with me watching. So when I'd get the questions, like I homeschooled my kids, so I'd get Travis, my oldest. He'd say, if you had to shoot someone's attacking you, had to shoot him. I'd be really interested to see what the news would say. Homeschool mom of 4 takes out bad guy. That was his self-proclaimed. So anyway, so we had those discussions because my kids were older.
Yeah.
So it wasn't exactly, we did firearm safety. They participated.
Yeah.
But we got talking more defensive with them because of the age. I think it's age appropriate.
Yeah, age appropriate. Keep it age appropriate. But what about the safety though? The safe handling.
So the safe handling, we would get guns out to clean them, to do whatever, and we walked through the 4 rules of safety.
Right.
And before they could ever go shooting, they had to memorize them back to us.
Right. That's what I did.
That's the beginning.
Yeah.
And then as they're walking through the first time, we're walking them through all the safety rules and everything.
Okay.
So anyway.
And quit. When do you put your finger on the trigger? When is the gun loaded?
Right.
Where do you put a gun?
So, all right. We'll be right back after a quick break.
All right. Be right back.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license does not go into suspension. That's something here at Braemar Law we do for you.
I choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
We choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
We choose Patriot Bail Bonds.
If the best criminal attorneys choose Patriot Bail Bonds, who would you choose?
Patriot Bail Bonds. We fight for your freedom.
Patriot Bail Bonds has the best customer service in Bakersfield. Patriot has more 5-star ratings than any bail company in Kern County. Plus, we're fast and affordable. If you run into the law, make Patriot Bail Bonds your first call. That's right, one call, that's all.
If you're in jail, call Patriot Bail.
Live and direct from the Golden State. It's Intelligent Talk Media, The Denise Gary Show.
Denise here from The Denise Gary Show. Having worked with top secret clearances, providing information and analysis to agencies and departments such as the CIA, the DoD, the State Department, and the United States military, I look forward to bringing my professional and academic expertise to you, calling us all to take action on the most critical issues of our time, locally, statewide, nationally, and internationally, as we learn how what happens overseas impacts all of us here at home. Together, we'll connect the dots.
Oh, my turn?
Go for it.
I'm going to be right back here. I mean, wait, we are back. Never mind. So we're back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. And let's continue on. So
Shoot the breeze, and we're talking about kids
and firearm
safety. What age do we start them out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it depends. Like I said, my kids got started a little late because we got started late. They had an understanding of guns because they were always in the house. They were,
who shot? Who owned them? Why'd you have them? Because your husband hunted, or what?
You know what? Actually, it was he bought a handgun when we were in the military in 92. So we've always had a handgun that he owned. And then we gradually acquired a few rifles that were his grandfather's. And he'd pull them out sometimes, but my husband, weren't into hunting just yet.
Okay.
So they were there, but it was kind of a, like you said, it wasn't a taboo
Just a gun
section.
owner.
We were just an owner, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we weren't shooters.
Most people are like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They get, that's what we were. And in the home, kids were totally fine with it. In fact, talking safety, my kids are all safe with the firearm. I can trust I absolutely. My son, my third born Daniel, has done competitions with me. I think he was 12 when he started doing IDPA. So, and he loved it. He loved the structure of it. I was telling you before. He's of all my kids the one that likes structure. He likes to be told what to do, what's going to happen. And the first couple times, he didn't want anyone to go shooting with us because he didn't know what they were like. He didn't know about their safety. He knew like his family, like what we do. So he would not want to go if someone else was going. We took him along to a shooting match. He got to see the process and he wanted to try it. So he really loved it. He got to draw from a holster and move and shoot from behind cover, and a very controlled environment, which he craved. Like he needed that environment. Totally said. Anyway, he's done it. So he was my one. You were talked about like Nerf guns and airsoft, and he was the one that really took off with that stuff. We have quite a big backyard, and all his friends would come over, and they'd be like airsoft wars in my backyard and whatnot. But you'd see him at 10, 12, when he'd be going around a corner, fingers off the trigger. And his rifle would be pointed down, like in a stool position, and then he'd come around and pop it up and finger go on the trigger, and then he'd put it, finger off the trigger, and he was really good with it, and the safety rules of the real firearms really translated to him, and he was on it even with airsoft. So I will tell, I've done a few lessons with kids. Typically, I don't do a full class with kids. I like more one-on-one with them, just to make sure they're getting it. I could really dial in the technique, show them how to do it right too. But I had a month or two ago, twins come out. 11 or 12-year-old boys, and great, they loved the guns. And Mom said they were really into, they wanted airsoft guns. And she goes, do I invest in that, or do I get them a real gun? And I said, you know what? Do both if you can. And told her about Daniel, and those safety rules transferred over and just reinforced it when he was on a gun. So anyway, that's and then cool. So my daughter, my youngest, the one that wanted the Glock, she's one that when we go out of town, she's left home alone. So she's like, where is my gun? Before we leave, where's my gun? And she's one that I told her, you can't have it loaded in the house because she doesn't go practice. So there's part of it, and it's not just safety, it's knowing your firearm, knowing all of this. So she practices, she does, gets more competent with it. That'll become the rule now. So then she'll be able to have it loaded around her. So anyway, so it just
you gotta goad it and poke at them. This is what's required.
You gotta go shoot. You gotta go shoot it. You gotta know it. And she knows how it functions. She knows she's cleared malfunctions. She's shot it pretty, hundreds of rounds through it. But it's just not that. I don't know.
Skill level is still novice.
It's the skill level. Yeah, that would be it. So, but anyway, so. I don't know. I don't know. Goose was asking earlier too, like what age do you start kids out? What age is too young? Honestly, I think it's up to the kid. You're going to have some 5-6-year-olds that are just adamant and so intrigued by firearms that you can come in and help them and show them. And
it's the structure of the lesson too.
Microphone problem.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. Is that better?
Is this thing on?
Sorry.
It's okay. It was rubbing against your shirt, so it's
oh.
so it's causing it like a. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Whatever. Anyway,
man.
Kids and guns. We're talking kids and guns. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on some of the kid.
Yes.
The interest level in it. Are
Yes.
they asking questions? If you have a 3 or 4-year-old and you're getting your gun out to clean, obviously you put your ammunition separate and get your gun out and right. Right.
Oh my God.
So okay.
We're
moving on. Yes, you do that, and then you can walk the gun to the kitchen table because where else do you clean it? And completely empty, and you can let your kids watch and show them and teach them. This is my gun. This is what I'm doing. I have to take it apart to clean it, and we point it over here. If you want to touch it, we point it over here. We don't point it in the exact same direction.
Right.
We never point it at people. However you want to word the safety rules, I don't care. Safety. And they grow up, and that's normal. Eventually, they're not going to look twice at your gun on the table.
Right. It doesn't take very long.
No.
Just, you got it again, whatever.
And but even with that, even if you don't have guns in the home, you need to have discussions with your kids.
Okay, I was going to ask that.
Because what if they go to someone's house and
they have
one, or they just got through cleaning their gun and went to the bathroom and now there's a gun on the table,
which is irresponsible.
Right. But I'm done cleaning. I got to go take a drink break, potty break. I stepped out of the room and
oh my God, too much milk.
Something. So anyway, what are your kids going to do? And so that's something that you just have to have those discussions with your kids. And
it's just basic safety. It's basic safety. And no matter what age they are, explain it to them, and don't make it into like a fantastical rainbow unicorn that poops Skittles. It's not a good idea, because then that's what they're like, ooh, it's magical. It's not magical. No. Well, it is kind of magic, it goes boom in your hands. But other than that, it's not magical, and it doesn't cause mass murder, and it's not a weapon of mass destruction.
But you do need to have instill the respect of it.
Instill the respect of that, So they have to be introduced to it.
I do like the NRA has the Eddie Eagle program. That's if you find a firearm, which again, if your kid's at someone else's house, leave the area. Don't touch it until an adult.
Right.
Piece of cake, right? So I'm not going to do this. So these are things that we want our kids to know, that it's like, oh, that gun should be locked up. Let me go get my dad to do it.
Right.
That gun should be locked up. Hey, Mom, would you take care of this? Or whatever the case may be.
Right.
There was a case Midwest. I am so horrible with names and places. Someone tossed a gun onto school grounds. Just running by, back corner, little 38 special revolver, and it was a 5th grader that was out in the yard, and he saw it, and he said, "Stop! Don't touch it!" He told everyone to stay away from it, and made someone go get yard duty. So that little bit, instead of being a curious, "Ooh, what is that?"
It's so good,
right? And anyway, so that little bit can make a huge difference.
They did do a study on that. I think it was in Ohio. I don't recall, but they took a bunch of kindergartners, first graders, and they put a inoperable gun and hid it. It was law enforcement officers and teachers and the parents of the children. I believe the teachers were involved. I don't remember, but I know it was the law enforcement said, "Well, the experiment is to see what the kids do." And the gun was totally inoperable. They said it was safe, and they watched, and it was like 30-something kids in there, and
as they walk through different responses,
and Every child that did not have firearms in the home and had the safety grabbed it and pointed at everyone and said bang, bang, bang. But the children that actually had firearms in the home and their parents said, oh no, we have guns and we train them. Those children stopped, don't touch. One of them actually grabbed it and said no, 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 and took it to the, called an adult. The other children said no, let's not touch it, stay away from it, and then went and got adults. And they did a really good job. You have to educate them, and we'd have a good 80-90% of the accidental discharges or children being hurt by curiosity would stop.
Yeah.
It would just stop because they wouldn't be curious. They'd know what to do.
So, teaching your kids at home. Get them a lesson. Take them to the range and show them what a gun can do. Shoot a pumpkin.
Yeah, it show's over when you...
Right?
Oh, that's not a toy.
Right? But and they take that responsibility of, oh, I can do this. But you can take them to the range, start showing them what the gun does, and you'll be surprised. Kids with inattention, kids, we think we don't want to give them a dangerous object or something like that, but the focus it takes to aim, the determination and that singular focus of front sight, it does, and it forces them to concentrate on something.
Yeah.
And it requires huge discipline. So if you have a squirrely kid, it's okay. They might take off with it.
Yeah, it might do really, really well in other areas of their lives.
Absolutely. Yeah, do well in math. Well, go shoot a few rounds. Right?
Lot of energy burn.
I had a family come through, never shot a gun. Mom, dad, daughter was 17, son was 15. And the son, I tell you what, any gun he picked up was a bullseye, like the size of a quarter. Just blew out the center of it. And everyone, the family members were laughing. He's like, oh yeah. I said, you need to come shoot with me. Right? Competitions, you'd love it. And Mom made the comment, before we go shoot, we're going to have to work on some grades. And the kid's like, oh, man. I said, imagine that.
Oh, man. Put that worm out there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Carrot.
Oh, yeah. But truly, for some of the kids with attention problems or having trouble, you give them a front sight and responsibility and ownership of, I have to do this task, and there it goes.
They don't start swinging it wildly, attempting to hurt everyone. No, they don't do that.
They really...
They appreciate it.
They appreciate it, and it I don't want to say matures them, but they feel more mature because they're doing something.
The mindset. You can see the mindset shift.
Absolutely. So it's really cool. I love teaching kids. That's one of my favorites. Just the grins that you get when they're pulling a trigger, and it's so much fun. I like it. But you give them the proper technique, and they're gonna hit a bullseye every time. So it's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. So, anyways, National Shooting Sport Month. Take your kids out shooting. Right. Take your kids out shooting. Put a gun in their hands. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah. If you don't know the ranges in town, you can do a Google search. We have 5 Dogs.
5 Dogs. 5 Dogs has a big variety. And that's pretty much a common only outdoor range here. They have steel targets, 100-yard rifle range that's marked for paper. They have throwing clays, sporting clays you can do.
Paper targets.
Paper steel for handguns. And 22.
And rimfire.
Indoor ranges, we got Second Amendment.
Yeah.
There's 2 locations. Little different dynamics there.
Very different dynamics. It's only paper.
It's only paper. The one on Jamani, you can shoot
rifle up to 3,600 feet.
Yeah, and
per second, I should say.
Yes. They only allow 2 on a range or 2 on a stall.
Yeah.
So if you're taking your whole family out, my suggestion would be to go out to 5 Dogs. And spend the day out there. But there's a lot of opportunity. So
there's a few more ranges. The shotgun.
Kern Shooting Sports.
Sports.
They have an awesome kids program. Junior shooters from like September to May, I think it is. $75 once a month. They give them a lesson, clay targets, and the whole youth model shotgun to use.
Really?
They got it with the NRE grant. I'm so glad you brought that up. That is an awesome program to do.
Okay.
They are currently doing a women's program as well, just a couple of lessons here and there. So,
okay.
All done with an NRA grant, so your cost is minimal. It's more like you got to be invested to keep going.
Yeah.
They want you to keep going. So anyway, you should get Xander involved in that.
I think we'll do that then. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like I think we'll do that.
So that's awesome. Anyway, Naomi, a Greenhorn Outfitter. I'll do private lessons with pistol, rifle, or shotgun as well. And take your friends out to shoot.
Yeah, I'm gonna start mine pretty soon. I still have cars, flyers, business.
We're gonna get you set up.
Nonprofit. I got a name though. I gotta run it by you.
All right.
I'm thinking of.
All right.
So I asked Amber, and she's like, "Oh, that's a good one." Yeah, I like that one.
So anyway, so that's our episode today. Go out and take your kids, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.